Being a correctional officer is 100% a tough job. You know, outnumbered over 100 to 1 in many cases. And the dangers are real. And you're going inside a prison or a jail with only handcuffs and pepper spray and backup. And you're hoping that your backup can get there quick enough to help you in a critical situation. Because we're short-staffed now. We're overworked. We're tired. We're stressed. It really makes me mad when I hear people say, "Oh, you were a correctional officer. Man, that's easy. What a nice career that is, or what a nice job that is. I'd love to go in there with my coffee thermos and sit down and just make sure everybody's okay and babysit." Does this look like babysitting to you when an officer is attacked and beaten? Is it babysitting when an inmate is trying to hang themselves and we save their life? No, that's being a first responder, a lifesaver. Is it easy to sit there among hundreds and hundreds of felons, not knowing which one would really love to grab you at any moment and bust your head wide open? Because let's face it, let's just be realistic. A lot of inmates will not do that. But on the other hand, a lot of inmates will. Is it easy when an inmate attacks a female correctional officer and attempts to rape her or does rape her? That's an easy job? The dangers are real. We know they're real. But many people have no clue as to what goes on behind the prison walls or what correctional officers have to face each day with these felons. Now, will you ever be saved by a felon? Yes, there's been officers saved when in trouble from other inmates by a felon. And they should be rewarded. This job is very tough, working 12-hour shifts, and then when your shift is over and you think, I can finally go home to my family, and then you get a call at your dorm. Hello? I need you to stay 4 more hours. We're in bad shape. We're in critical position here. And you stay 4 more hours because you're a trooper, because you're a solid officer, and you know that's what you signed up for. But you were getting that second wind because you were going home to your family, and now you've been hit with 4 more hours. But you stand tall and you do 4 more hours, hoping that in those 4 hours nothing happens. An inmate riot does not break out. An inmate fight does not break out. An inmate does not attack an officer. And you hope that you go home safe after 16 hours because you have to go home, see your family for a bit, and then get just a little bit of sleep, because in 8 hours, from the time you step out the door, you only have 8 hours until you're back for the next day's 12-hour shift. Is that an easy job? No, it's a tough job. Corrections, everything I've looked up, ranks in the top 10 as one of the toughest jobs because of stress, working conditions, and the dangers. Some have corrections at number 10, some at number 5, some at number 6. But working corrections for 28.8 years, I feel it's right up there in the top 3. They do have firefighters on one survey ahead of correctional officers. And I can live with that because firefighters are a very stressful job and dangerous job as well. You know, at least there's some respect with the firefighters and the correctional officer job being 1 and 2 toughest jobs that you can get. Now, I also want to talk about the working conditions for correctional officers. Here's something that I've thought many times. You see a lot of these prisons, They put you out on a perimeter post, maybe in a vehicle that runs, maybe in the vehicle that doesn't. If it doesn't run, you have no air conditioning, you have no heat. You're out there at night, there's mosquitoes and all that. Well, you're getting eaten up by mosquitoes, so you roll up the windows, now you're burning up. I mean, we know that we have to do these things, and we will do them. But why not invest in the correctional officer? Administration, legislature, why not invest in the correctional officer? How much can it cost to build a security hut of some type at all your points? You can still have a vehicle next to it if you want to be able to jump in a vehicle and move out, with a heater for the winter and a fan for the summer, or a small air conditioner for the summer, window air conditioner. Because they don't have that in many of the prisons here. The jail I just left has recreation early in the morning. And the officers are taking a chair and putting it out there. It could be raining, so you're sitting with an umbrella in a chair with the pepper gun. Or it could be 100 degrees here in Florida and you're sitting in a chair with an umbrella to keep the sun off of you. You know, why not invest a little money for your officers' comfort? What? A security hut is not going to hinder the officer's view as long as it has plexiglass windows all the way around and they can see. You know, I think some of the money needs to be spent for officers' safety and a little bit of help on comfort. Because it's not an easy job like a lot of people think, with your coffee thermos and sitting back drinking your coffee. You're doing a lot of things every day on your shift that are dangerous. You're in an environment with diseases of all kinds, folks. And the COVID now has added to the diseases. And you're in these confined areas working with all these diseases that you could possibly get. TB, tuberculosis, COVID, flus, the normal things. And then you think, oh my gosh, do I take that home to my family? Please don't let me get that, Lord. I don't want to take that home to my family. Hazardous job. Not easy job, not an easy job. Dangerous and hazardous. And then you're subjected to the long hours, which can be stressful because you're trying to get everything done, your counts, your feeding, your med pass if you have that at your institution, your medical call-outs, your attorney booth call-outs if you're at the jail. All these things are going at the same time. The nurse is here for med pass. Hello? Need another one to the attorney booth. Just a second. We're doing count right now. I'll be with you in a second, nurse. Just a second, attorney booth. I'm getting the inmate up to you. Oh, here comes the food cart. Boom. You know, we try to time things with a little space between, but it doesn't always happen that way. An easy job, you say, sitting back with your coffee and a thermos. It just never ceases to amaze me how people think this job is easy, the ones who don't do it. You correctional officers are unsung heroes standing between the inmates and society, protecting your community every day, missing out on birthdays, family activities, and having to sacrifice so much to protect your community. And people think it's an easy job. I'm going to stop right there. There's a lot of things. We could go on this topic for a long time, and everybody knows it. Put your comments down why you think corrections is a tough job. Now, I want you to know there are a lot of people who are not correctional officers that are proud of you. They know what you're doing, and they are proud of you. And we are thankful for you. Without correctional officers, we would be in big trouble. What would we do to keep the inmates behind the walls without you? Stay safe. Listen, if you're feeling stress, reach out and talk to people. Talk to people. Talk to anybody in your family, someone you trust at work. Go to your human resources. There are experts. There are friends that will get you through this. If you're feeling burnout, talk to somebody about some things you can do to get that burnout down. Maybe some exercise. When you go home, forget the job and enjoy your family. If you're not married, when you go home, go out, do activities, fishing, running, jogging, sports, whatever you're into. Do things to relieve yourself of burnout and stress. Get help. Don't be embarrassed to ask. And thank you for doing the toughest job. Gary York, True Prison Stories.